Muted everyone. Does anyone have a question? Please, everyone, try and sit still. There's still class going on. If you're moving, it really disrupts the class. You know, when I had class, when I used to have class where people were there in person, I mean, nobody moved. I mean, now everybody's in their own house, bedroom, wherever they are, and people just forget that any kind of, fidgeting, scratching, doing things, it disrupts the energy of the meditation. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Yes.
Well, I have a question about dreams and nightmares. I've had them my whole life. Some of them are really like night terrors. They've gotten better, but man, if I have a dream, it's usually some kind of frustration dream, and I'm just wondering if you could speak to that, or is there anything other than more meditation or cold showers, whatever? But I have them. I still have them, not as bad, but I'd love to.
I mean, I don't know what to say about, dreams, I mean, they take you into a different area of consciousness within yourself. You open to different things when you dream. It's almost like a transcendental kind of consciousness when we dream. And things take on different, manifestations in dreams. I mean, my only thing I can say about it, I'm not big on interpreting dreams because I don't know where it's going to take anybody in terms of their inner development. But I'm very big on taking the energy of dreams, and dreams can have very strong energy, and try to draw that energy into the chakra system. And by doing that, you can transform like nightmares and all that stuff into positive energy that will work for you. Right before you go to sleep, just take a simple breath right into the top of your head. And don't do this a lot. Do this maybe once, before you go to sleep. It's a very strong exercise. It'll open the crown chakra. It'll open the third eye, it'll open, these areas, and, you'll be able to draw the energy of the dreams down into the chakra system. Once it goes into the chakra system, it's just energy. And these nightmares and these strange, surreal dreams that you have and other people have, they'll get transformed into positive energy. So give that a shot. I hope it works. I know it worked for me when I heard this from Rudy. And I used to, I do that, and so other than that, I'm not big on interpreting dreams because I don't know where you go with that. It becomes intellectual exercise, and everybody can interpret your dreams, and you get 50 people, you're going to get 50 different interpretations. And that will just make you crazy, But try to transform the dream energy into Shakti by drawing it down into your system, getting it, trying to bring it to the chakra below the navel. You can transform all of that negativity into chi. It'll also make you very strong to be able to do that. Because if you can manage to do that, then you can manage to do the same thing with your thoughts. The endless yak that goes on in the brain, you can transform that into positive energy. And that's the purpose of this meditation. The whole purpose of this meditation is to transform the human to the divine. And that all takes place inside us. I mean, I'm just reading these poems Chris sent me by Kabir, and it's the same thing he's talking about. I mean, it's a different technique, but it basically gets down to the same thing. that the answers to all our quandaries and problems exist inside ourselves. They don't exist in the external world. And if we transform our dreams, our thinking, our emotional, stuff that we have to live with into, chi, into energy, shakti, what a miraculous thing we do for ourselves, because suddenly we can live in a quiet way. We have the craft to transform all these things that are difficult. And look, this is what Rudy's meditation is about. Learning how to do this. And the dreams you have can be transformed into positive energy. And you become a master of them. So you don't have to spend every night, flying around in nightmares, that are created in your brain, that energy begins to listen to you. And then it stops doing all the nonsense it does,
Yeah.
And you have the capacity to change all that stuff. And once again, I don't interpret dreams. I'm not Freud. I don't, became famous doing that. Because as I say, 100 people can see you, hear you dreaming. You're gonna get 100 different interpretations. And who knows which is the right one or the wrong one. And then you get 100 different conflicting views that will make you even crazier. But you can transform all that stuff by learning how to draw it down into the chakra system. Now, what I'm saying is not easy to do. It takes time, it takes work. It's not just going to happen, not after a lifetime of what you described, but in time, these things change.
Okay.
And as Rudy always said, what's killing you can give you life. It's just energy. Everything is energy. And if we master our inner selves, we learn how to use everything as a tool to develop our spiritual life. Positive, negative, everything. Nightmares, beatific dreams, it all becomes energy. So have patience with this, try it and try it again and again and again. And I hope it works. I know it worked for me years ago. And I hope it works for all of you who have, whatever your situation, you have emotional problems, the same thing. If you have mental problems, the same thing. I mean, all of your depression, and I always talk about that, the anxiety, it all can be changed into chi, but we have to get strong enough to master ourselves. And once you can master this, I mean, the world becomes a different place. It really does. It becomes kind of a miraculous place, how things happen. And mostly because we give off positive energy. And that's what comes back to us, positive energy. You get back exactly what you give off.
That's great, Stuart. I've never tried that. My approach has always been to just try to make them stop. But the prospect of turning them into positive energy is very inspiring. So thank you.
You're welcome, Bob. I hope it works, because
I'll
it'll
give it a
really
try.
save you a lot of trouble in yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Hi, Stuart. On the heels of that, I have a question because mine was actually about emotional pain and how to transform it. Could you give an example? Because sometimes it's just all encompassing and really challenging. So could you give an example when you're in that space, how to practice this? Thank you.
The first thing you do is just listen to your breathing. Listen to your breathing. the inhalation, the exhalation. That'll calm you down right there. You know, and the second thing is have gratitude. You have a lot to be grateful for. And then, you know, those two simple things will change that condition you're talking about. If you listen to your breath, and you can just do that little Hindu mantra, so hum. So when you inhale, hum, you exhale, so hum. And if you really listen to so hum, it eventually becomes the sound of your breathing. And I always tell you what it means. It means so is I am, hum is that. It means that every breath that you and everyone else in this class takes, and everybody living on this planet Earth, every breath they take is like a prayer. It really is. So if you listen to that prayer, it's going to calm you down. And then just feel gratitude. And all that angst is going to go away. The second you can feel gratitude in yourself, all that crap is going to go away. I mean it.
Thank you so much, Stuart.
Try it. Try it. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I mean, all of this meditation that we do here is simply about turning the human into the spiritual. It's simply about getting to a state of consciousness where the soul can be separated from the body. And as long as you have this mess inside, there's not going to be any separation. And one day we got to leave here. And when we leave here, the soul separates from the body. But if all this garbage isn't cleaned up, we got to come back here and do it again till we finally master, excuse me, our inner selves.
Stuart, I'd like to ask a question. During class, this is Melissa. I don't know if you're looking for me. I'm wondering during class that
During what?
during class.
During fasts?
Class?
No, what did
during
you say?
meditation.
During class, okay.
Yeah, yeah. During meditation, something that I noticed today is that, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way through class, there was a lot of ascending energy that happened. And so the rest of the class, you know, was really like seated in the third chakra mostly, and working with the double breath. And then it was like this really clear, distinct moment of phew, like.
Well, you know, I mean, look, Melissa, that's how you get the Kundalini operating, you know, that is the Kundalini. But, you know, working in the third chakra, as I say all the time, it gives you the strength to deal with a force like Kundalini, which is a very strong energy in you. So that's what happens, you know, suddenly the energy rises. And the energy rises and it'll gather in the crown chakra. And then this eventually opens. You know, it's called the 1,000-petal lotus, Sahasrara. And that open allows the soul to connect with the soul of the universe. So what you're doing is very good. Doing the double breathing, building the chi, the, you know, third chakra, so that you can activate the Kundalini. And what you described is wonderful. You know, I like to hear things like that.
And is the instruction when that's happening to just kind of get out of the way, just let it happen?
Look, the instruction of life is get out of the way.
Okay.
Just that. Whatever you do, just get yourself out of the way. Let this energy come and guide you, you know? Because your ego is going to take you only to one place, and that's the grave and to another life. Dealing with all this bullshit we have to deal with on the earth, you know?
Happy. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, who here, raise your hand if you know better than life, you know? I mean, who knows better than life? You know, life has been around forever. We have 60, 80 years, 70 years, 10 years, whatever, you know? And if we get out of the way, we can listen to this master that is dying to teach us what we need to learn in order to get free. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I'm telling you, I can't wait till I can just do these classes in person, because I think it's the only way to truly develop. I mean, this is great what we do here, but when the classes are in person, and it's going to be an extraordinarily different level. This last year has brought this work to an amazing level. But when the classes are in person and energy is transmitted that way, it's going to be a whole different ball of wax. It'll be interesting because then people are going to have to make an effort to go. They're going to have to leave their houses. And then we'll see who shows up. That should be a very interesting process. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, well, God bless you all. Thank you. And in all humility, as I say after every class, I have a lot of gratitude to do this. This last year has really changed my life. Certainly has taken me to a much higher level in my spiritual growth. And I hope it's working for you all too. You know, otherwise I don't see any reason why people should come, you know, and this is really changing them inside. And that's the essence of what we do. It's to change, it's to grow, it's to develop a strong inner life, it's to get connected with God, and to finally free ourselves of this kind of merry-go-round that people live on, karma, samsara, you know, illusion. And what I started this talk with, the way you do it is that you truly have to transform all the negativity in yourself into positive energy, into energy that activates Kundalini, that gets you centered, that gets the heart open, energy of love. Okay, if there are no more questions, there'll be a class tomorrow night. If you know people that want to, you know, come to these classes, they're very welcome. And, you know, and hopefully they can learn too. So God bless you all. Thank you. And I will hopefully see everybody tomorrow evening. Have a good evening tonight. And happy Mother's Day to all of you, you know.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Thank you very